If we could do that with the people who've been infected, get them revaccinated, the people who are unvaccinated now, that 90 million people, get them vaccinated, I think we can get a degree of overall blanket protection of the community that as we get into the early part of 2022, getting through the winter, which could be complicated by influenza, by respiratory syncytial virus, that as we get into the spring, we could start getting back to a degree of normality, namely reassuming the things that we were hoping we could do. Restaurants, theaters, that kind of thing. But again, there's a big caveat there, Anderson. This is a very wily virus. We thought we were going to have that degree of freedom as we got into the 4th of July and the summer. And then along comes a soccer punch with the Delta variant, which is extraordinary in its capability of spreading from person to person. So we hope we'll be there at the time frame that I mentioned, correctly being the spring of 2022, but there's no guarantee because it's up to us. If we keep lingering without getting those people vaccinated that should be vaccinated, this thing could linger on, leading to the development of another variant which could complicate things. So it's within our power to get this under control, and that is to get vaccinated.
This is one of those situations where I think, defining what it means to be in control of the pandemic is really important, because I think we sometimes talk about these in sort of these vague terms. We know that this virus is what they call endemic. It's probably here to stay. I mean, the flu virus that circulates every year in some ways is a great descendant of the 1918 flu virus. So we know that this virus is here to stay. If we're talking about cases specifically, like dropping below a certain number of cases, I'm not sure that's a good metric because we know that there can be breakthrough cases. I think hospitalizations, which has been the truest measurement, is probably, a better way of defining control. So in June and July, of the patients in the hospital with COVID, 98% of them were unvaccinated. So if we have more people vaccinated, it's likely we will decouple hospitalizations from cases, and maybe that will be some sort of definition of control. People aren't getting that sick anymore, ending up in the hospital. The virus starts to slowly not have places to circulate. That'll be a definition of control. But I think we're going to see waves of this for some time, like they did after 1918, and the waves will progressively get smaller and less impactful, but that's likely what's going to continue to happen.